Let me say O-V, O-V, let me say O-V, O-V, hey, say step that way, yeah. Hey, ClowdyWorld, man, and I can't lie, I try to be unbiased, but hey, man, Kendrick might have got it this time. Let's break everything down and really talk about it. Now, I'm trying to drop for every different video a different part of the diss track, so it kind of gives everyone kind of a chance to understand what's going on and kind of break everything down from, their perspective. As we know, there's been 8 entire diss tracks from Kendrick Lamar to Drake, from Kendrick Lamar's Meet the Grams to Not Like Us, and even to Drake's The Heart Part 6. I feel like there's so much unique reactionary music right now, and I feel like everyone's focused on the wrong things, and I want to talk about that and break that down. So what do I mean by everyone is focused on the wrong things? I feel like recently Vince Staples had talked about this, where he was saying that he's really appreciating the amazing music coming out, but he said that he feels like too many fans, a lot of fans that are not melanated, that are pushing the beef on and are making it something deeper. And honestly, I can see that, and I can honestly understand why even J. Cole backed out. Now, I'm one of the people that I don't like that he backed out. I feel like that it's left a negative image on him being the GOAT. He's still respected as a high-level MC, one of the greatest rappers of our era, but I believe that after this beef with Drake and Kendrick, he will never be considered in the big 3 ever again. And even if he is, it'll be more so just I'll say a participation trophy. Because whether you respect Drake or Kendrick more, to get into the ring and let your wordplay define your legacy is something that only a literal legendary GOAT would do. From either side, no matter who you support, we can all agree on that. To get into the ring, no holds barred, no lyrics off the table, and just spit and rhyme and let the culture and let the people know what they're feeling, that is real. That is very real, no matter who you support. Because to me, I don't think it's a Drake versus Kendrick. This is just great music. We're getting genuinely great music from 2 artists that don't have genuine serious beef until earlier today, which I'm also going to be talking about in a separate video, where Drake's crib was allegedly just hit up. Now, getting back to kind of the scenario of what's going on right now, it's just crazy to see kind of the direction that this beef is turning, because I remember a few weeks ago when Drake had went on a stage at the recent concert, and he had slowly kind of came out and apologized and said that he doesn't feel like this beef is going to be something he wants to be in, not because of the lyrics and the rap and just putting out your best creative focus, but because he could tell it was turning into a dirt slinging contest. First, we're hearing about Drake having multiple children, and also one on that Kelly Tommy, you know what I'm saying, and to then go to Kendrick, oh, you be beating on folks, and you had a lot of that trauma happen to you, and your family just as flawed and messed up, and it's a lot of hypocrisy too. I love that. As a creative and someone who likes music, I love that. Rap ain't supposed to be some type of factual evidence 1-on-1. Drake capping, Kendrick capping. We just know there's more truth than the cap. You think Westside Gun sold a brick, right? Virgil told a brick on my brick. You think Virgil, well, actually he did. In the music video, he actually did, and he actually did write. He actually did write Off-White on a brick. But that's separate, because Westside Gun is just legendary. You get what I'm saying? But that's kind of my perspective, where I'm saying that we have to also remember that this is a different era. Music gonna slap. Even when we noticed from both of them, when both of them, Kendrick and Drake, used beats that weren't the typical rap trap beats, the average fan, even they were not as locked in. And that kind of shows me that even if we all appreciate lyricism and good vibes and stuff like that, we're at a time where the culture is evolving and changing for better or for worse, where your beat got a hit, something got to speak on it. The only reason sometimes people let it fall in is because Drake and Kendrick are so legendary that we know, like, even if it don't hit the first 10 seconds, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit because they're legendary. They've put their time into their craft. Kendrick is a Southern LA Compton born young man who's put his craft into his time for decades. Kendrick is one of those. Drake, Aubrey Graham, same way. Acting specialist, came in for a while in creative art fields, started doing music, and has been doing this for the same amount of time, 2-3 decades. Like, we have to start looking at stuff like that and starting to understand that this isn't some LA Hills boy versus someone from the trenches or whatever. From either side, bro. Both these dudes black, fam. And beyond that, both of them have already had enough struggles to where we can understand where their perspectives are in their music. You're not gonna listen to Drake and then be like, wow, man, Drake really cares about the plight of our people. Drake is gonna spend millions of dollars to support the plight of our people. in America, fam. Like, do you see how that sounds? Do you see how that sounds? It sounds unrealistic because that's unrealistic. I'm just saying that when I look at this music and look at what's going on right now, it's just crazy to see this man Kendrick just consistently keep lapping, man. And this is just one of those days because I feel it, man. I do feel it from Drake's side, dog, because when you really feel like all this stuff is going on and it's a 20v1 and all that stuff, that it gets a little heavy. And I can see he's crashing, not really but metaphorically, in a sense where everything is a shot by shot reaction. You get shot, it's a reaction, beef reaction. Like he's very on his defensive mindset, especially with the music. And I feel like that's a position he hasn't been in 10 plus years. So we can see that that's not a very comfortable place for him to be coming at, because Kendrick is Kendrick. And even with Kendrick, if Kendrick was just foolish or just playing around, Drake has enough of a fan base where people will really be calling that out. People got to acknowledge that they're both going crazy. It's just Kendrick has 6, 7, 8 levels of wordplay, and even Drake in his prime was 4 to 5 of them. And again, there's nothing to be disrespected about that. I feel like people had this issue with understanding that you can be legendary in a lot of ways, and then there's other people that can be legendary in a very specific ways that are just dramatically higher. Think of it like if you were a student who averaged B's in every class, but you had another student who didn't care about a lot of classes, but he was a all-state athlete. He did his thing in every athletic place known to man, but his classes were all right. I look at that like Kendrick, where Kendrick don't be caring about trying to be the most turn up the party, this, that, trying to be the most crunk rapper, stuff like that. But the places he elevates are so high level and talented and skillful that these folks don't want to play with him. I look at Drake in the same way, but his are more like I'll say like a Jason Kidd. Like, you're there and you put the time in and things like that, but you have a equal, like all of your facets that you kind of burn off of are all equal. So when people look at you as a GOAT or GOAT candidate, you can't say no just off the facts, because if you look at basic categories for what a GOAT would be, Drake, just like Kendrick, excels in every single one of them. If you want to count writing and lyricism, okay, but that's a sub-genre of what we consider GOATs now. When we think about GOATs, we think about impact, longevity, consistency, elevation, and the way they sell. That's why Lil Wayne's been respected for such a long time, because he did it all as with the narrative of a street rapper on him. With the narrative, he was from an era where if you were rapping like that, they wouldn't even allow you to be in the same places to perform as some of these other rappers, and the Hobsons and the Drakes and these, that, the other. So when people understand kind of what this GOAT rap genre legacy thing is, you're gonna see in a year or two why people are so hard on J. Cole for backing out and doing what he did, even though to me, I still believe in my heart that may have been the right decision for him. J. Cole's a peaceful man. Kendrick and Drake are anything but. ClowdyWorld, and let me know what y'all think about this new Kendrick diss, man. Really enjoying it, really appreciating it, and just let me know your thoughts. ClowdyWorld, and let me hear you say Obi. That way, step that way, hey, step that way, step that way.